It is October 7th, 2024, 2:54 p.m. here in the outside of Tampa, Florida, Highway 4. Check the evacuation lines. It's miles and miles and upon miles of traffic.
If you're shopping for a
Shalom, shalom. First and foremost, we give all praises and glory and honor that's due to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem Rakakadash. I'm going to give double honors to the elders and the apostles, the great millstone that rule well. Blessings and salutations to the whole select. Noise in the gospel, brother, lifting up the standard of Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, wherever it may be. This is another lesson through the Spirit, kind of updating on this whole Hurricane Milton. It says, Tampa mayor issues dire warning before Hurricane Milton. If you choose to stay, you're going to die. And when I was listening to the video, she said it's not even dramatized. This is a real thing because they're expecting this to be one of the worst hurricanes that ever touched down in America. Okay? They said they haven't seen anything like this in over 50 years. And we believe that it's due to Esau's cloud seeding his heart. His geoengineering, which he can control the weather. And ultimately, it's really Yahweh Bashim, Yahweh Shai, bringing the plagues upon Babylon because Babylon the Great is wicked. But anyway, it says, the mayor of Tampa and the cities is in the crosshair of Hurricane Milton issued a grave warning to Florida residents who don't heed to calls to evacuate ahead of the monster storm. She said, if you choose to stay, you're going to die. And that's just straightforward. Okay, so you can understand the type of duress the people are under, stress, out of all they've put into their livelihoods. And this is why the scriptures tell you that, man, you can't put your faith on uncertain riches, man. Okay, because you get it, people have to live, they have to do, people, they have lives to live, they work for their possessions, and then all of a sudden shit like this happen and it catches them off guard because people are overly invested in this system, so you can believe that people in Tampa right now, they're under great duress because for the simple fact, they don't know if they're going to have a home to come back to, more than likely not. And then the fact that they're paying all this money in insurance, it's just one of those things that, insurance companies are packing up and leaving these coastal cities. Okay, same thing with the wildfires out there in Cali, the earthquakes, the tsunamis and hurricanes down in Florida, one of the two most beautiful states to live and reside in, okay, beyond measure, is pretty much becoming an inhabitable danger zone because, of these plagues. And ultimately, it's Esau, Edom, well, really Yahweh Bashim, Yahweh Shai, but Esau, Edom on the left-hand side, manipulating the weather and the technology, But anyway, it says here, if you choose to stay, you're going to die. Mayor Jane Castor bluntly said on CNN while talking about the dangers of Milton, a literally catastrophic Category 5 hurricane is barreling towards the Sunshine State, and that's a little nickname for Florida. Ain't going to be the Sunshine State no more, Anyway, but it says here, a powerful storm could hit Florida as early as Wednesday. It may be more destructive and deadlier than Hurricane Helene. All right, and we know Hurricane Helene just pretty much eased up a few days ago. But even then, they were saying that was worse than Katrina. You see? But yet, you got skeptics out here that constantly say that, oh, well, there's no higher power, there's no God. We ain't in the end. But clearly, we're in the end because Yahweh Shai basically spoke of these particular events going into earthquakes and rumors of wars, and we're seeing every sign that's fathomably possible before the second coming of Yahweh Shai, man. All right? But it says the powerful storm could hit Florida as early as Wednesday, and it may be more destructive and deadly than Hurricane Helene, which ripped through parts of the Sunshine State last week. It says here, Castor emphasized that attempting to ride out the storm Castor emphasized that attempting to ride out the storm could prove fatal, and a time to flee is now. And she urged residents in evacuation zones. And she said, I can tell you now that they might have done that in others, but there has never been one like this. Castro said on CNN, and Helene was a wake-up call, and this is literally catastrophic. Okay? He says, and I can say without any dramatization, whoever, if you choose to stay in one of those evacuation areas, you're going to die. And she's certain of that because, for one thing, they're the one that's creating this shit through their fucking technology, man, all right? Okay, now you got people that say, oh, y'all just conspiracy theories. Look, it ain't no goddamn conspiracy, man. You got people that work for the departments of agriculture and the different departments of governments that basically went on record and admitted that they have basically weaponized the weather. This is why the seasons are all out of whack, man. This is why you got trees. Like, I'm looking in my backyard right now, and I mean, trees are like literally dying. Okay, because Esau is totally polluting the atmosphere. You know? But she says Castor, who has been in office since 2019, noted that some of the forecasts predicted a tidal surge of 10 to 12 feet. And Helene's tidal surge was 6 feet. Now, remember, it was a movie called, was it A Day After Tomorrow, I think? But it was one of those movies, one of those apocalyptic movies, when basically downtown Manhattan, basically the ocean, it just basically swallowed everything up. You know what I'm saying? Basically the ocean, the waves, you know, whatever happened, some type of hurricane or something hit the East Coast, and before you know it, a freeze overcame. But prior to that, you had waves that was 50, 60, 70 feet in the air, and it pretty much flooded out downtown Manhattan, New York City. And, you know, it was uninhabitable. And they show you these movies because that's predictive programming. So who's to say that New York might not be next? You know, New York, Boston, you know, these harboring Eastern Coast states. Who's to say that, man? Because we know that, hey, what that guy Swab say, he said we are in the time of a poly crisis, man. Okay, when things are going to happen at a great rate. And we're seeing it. And it says, and that was literally devastating to so many in the coastal area, she said, at the Helene's disastrous path. And it reads, it says, Milton is already the second strongest Gulf hurricane in recorded history. And experts believe it'll only grow stronger as it approaches Florida. Because they said that shit went from a category 3 to 4 to 5 within an hour. And that's highly unlikely. And we understand that, you know, you got the lithium fields out there in the Carolinas, man. You got it's the lithium, and you got what is it called? It's like a particular what is it called, man? Fuck. It was just on the tip of my tongue. But basically, not rhinestones. It was something else that they mentioned. Lithium fields, and I don't know. I can't recall the other element, but the brother actually went into it as well. And he went into the history. Well, not the history, but he went into it. And he was kind of breaking it down. But I can't recall what it says. Salakia. But anyway, it says here, experts believe that it will grow stronger as it approaches Florida. But the storm's winds are already a stunning 180 miles per hour with heavy downpours expected. And that's a lot of damn wind, 180 miles. That'll throw a damn semi-truck, man. It says this is something that I've never seen in my life. And I could tell you, anyone born and raised in the Tampa Bay area has never seen anything like this before. She stressed. She says people need to get out. Now, as far as brothers, I don't know. I'm sure brothers are going to be okay, but I don't know what part of Tampa brothers are in, because I know you do have particular evacuation zones out there, whether they inhabit one of those evacuation zones or if it's just the entire city of Tampa, you know. But I pray that those brothers are okay, you know, and I know that they will be, because, you know, Yahweh Shai is with them brothers, you know. So we know they're going to be okay, but nonetheless, you know, this is a rather, I would say, a fortunate event, but an unfortunate event, because people literally may die from it, because you're going to have some assholes out there that's going to say, well, you know what, I'm going to ride this out, you know, some crash outs. But anyway, it says this is something that I've never seen in my life. I read that. But it says if we have this predicted storm surge, this is not survivable, she reiterated. So there you go, man. Panic buying and traffic jams all over the place. People getting ready to lose it. All right. And people starting to realize that, wait a minute, this government is up to something sinister, because not only Hurricane Helene, not only Hurricane Katrina, but also the Maui fires. People was pretty much catching on to it from then, even though, we've been known that Esau has been playing with the weather, trying to play the Most High. But people are starting to realize now, and that's due to this information age. Okay, when everybody have their cell phones, they can go out and they can take pictures, like down there in the Carolinas and in Tennessee at the Helene hit. People was actually recording the footages as to what the hell was going on out there versus the news not fully reporting on what was out there. Because the news want to give you a watered down version as to what happened, but people got cell phones now. So you literally have people recording this event and exposing FEMA for what they're doing, and yet they still come out and they neglect or they deny that shit, man. This is why the scriptures say you can never trust thine enemy, because so is iron rust, so is its wickedness. All right. So anyway, let's get a couple of precepts real quick. This is the book of, matter of fact, let's go from here to the book of Exodus, the 9th chapter, because this goes into the plague of hell. Now, even though this is a hurricane, but hey, who knows, hailstorms, all types of shit, and it still goes into freak weather, so to speak. But this is the book of Exodus 9 and 18. It says, behold, tomorrow about this time, I will cause it to rain a very grievous hail, such as has not been in Egypt since the foundation thereof, even into now. Now, then they just stated that Hurricane Milton is like one of the strongest or the second strongest hurricane to hit the Gulf region. All right, that's nothing to take light. And matter of fact, let me look this up real quick. I'm going to look up what does Milton mean. Milton definition. See what that means. Probably look it up in the Hebrew. Okay. It says Milltown or middle settlement. Noble first. Okay, no, that's not really telling me anything. Milton. Hebrew reading. Let me see something I want to give. Me of Milton, Milltown, middle settlement. Maybe look up the etymology root word of that word. But anyway, I just thought I'd do a little quick check. I'm not really finding anything on it, but I'm sure somebody else will get a more thorough understanding of that. But some, Lord has what he called omens, so I just thought maybe this would have been that. But that's neither here nor there. But it says here, such as has not been in Egypt since the foundation thereof, even unto now. And ascend therefore now and gather thy cattle and all that thou hast in the field, for upon every man and beast which should be found in the field should not be brought home, and that hell should come down upon them and they should die. Okay, so hey, basically anything that was in the vicinity is getting smoked. It says, he that feared the word of Yahweh among the servants of Pharaoh made his servants and his cattle flee into the houses, and he that regarded not the word of the Lord left his servants and the cattle with the field, right? And that mayor is basically saying, look, y'all better get the hell out of here or you're going to basically be thrown away. All right. It says here, and the Lord said unto Moses, stretch forth thy hand towards heaven, that there may be hell in all the land of Egypt, upon men and upon beasts and upon every herb of the field throughout the land of Egypt. Now you got to understand too, it was the spirit, because the apostles, they exhorted us to put up curses on Babylon, and we've been putting up curses on this place. Now, hey, look what's happening. Okay, we seeing the Most High smite the earth with a plague. Matter of fact, let's get this real quick, because believe it or not, brothers, the works have a lot to do with it. Even though this is some left hand harp shit, but it's still Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai making moves out here. Okay, so this is the book of Revelation 11, and I'm gonna start at verses 4. It says, these are the 2 olive trees and the 2 candy sticks standing before the Most High on the earth, which represents the northern and the southern kingdom. Okay, you had Joshua the high priest, and then you had Zerubbabel, but also this represents the northern and the southern kingdom. And it says here, and if any man will hurt them, fire proceeded out of their mouth and devoured their enemies. And if a man will hurt them, he must in this manner be killed. And eventually we're going to get that power. We're going to just be able to use that power at will. But it says, these have the power to shut up heaven, that it rain not in the days of their prophecy, and have power over the waters to turn them into blood, and to smite the earth with all plagues as often as they will. Okay, so long story short, the more curses we throw up on Babylon, the more worse the storm's gonna get. And you gotta believe that. You gotta believe that your works and your prayers are being held or heard of Yahweh Shai because you're doing a righteous sacrifice. All right. Anyway, going back here. And it says here, Moses stretched forth his rod under heaven, and Yahweh sent thunder and hail and fire ran along the ground, upon the ground, and the Lord rained hail upon the land of Egypt, so that there was hail and fire mingled with hail, very grievous, such as there was none like it in all the land of Egypt since they became a nation. So once again, hey, this is one of the worst storms that ever hits the Florida coast. It says, and hail smote throughout all the land of Egypt, all that was in the field, both men and beasts, and hail smote in every herb, field, and break every tree and field. Okay. Now, we think of hail, we think of ice, right? Crazy weather, thunderstorms, clouds, thunder, lightning, all that shit, right? But let's see what the scriptures say. Because it goes into the Hebrew word baradad, which means hell, God's judgment, hailstones. Let's look this up here. Because we know it deals with ice, right? But look up. Pellets of frozen rain, which fall in showers from cumulus clouds. Yep. Golf ball size hails, and back in the ancient world, it was probably a lot bigger than that. She was probably like bowling balls falling down. Cracked you upside the head, it sent you to the spirit world. But it says, only in the land of Goshen where the children of Israel were, where there was no hell. And right now we're in spiritual Goshen because we know that the elect is exempt from these judgments. But Pharaoh sent and called for Moses and Aaron and said it to them, I've sinned this time. The Lord is righteous, and I and my people are wicked. Entreat Yahweh, for it is enough, that there be no more mighty thunderings and hells, and I will let you go, and ye should stay no longer. And Moses said it to him, as soon as I am gone out of the city, I will spread abroad my hands into Yahweh, and the thunder shall cease, neither shall there be any more hell, and thou mayest know how the earth is the Lord. So this, everything is through Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai, man. Okay? It has nothing to do with Esau. Esau is just a vessel that the Most High is using, all right? As a matter of fact, let's go from here to the book of Romans 9. And let's start at verses, because you got the vessels of righteousness and then the vessels of wrath, okay, which that's Esau, Edom. So the Lord is using, he's basically a sword of the Lord. All right. So this is the book of Romans 9. And I'm going to start at verses 21. It says, have not the potter power over the clay of the same lump to make one vessel into honor and another to dishonor? Okay. And that goes into Jacob and Esau. But what if the Most High, willing to show his wrath and to make his power known, endured with much long suffering the vessels of wrath fitted to destruction? Okay. And we understand that the vessels of wrath is this damn devil. And he that may make known the riches of his glory on the vessels of mercy, which is Jacob, which he had afore prepared into glory. Okay. So you got the vessels of wrath, and then you have the vessels of mercy, which that's us. So the point is, the Lord uses these things to his purpose. These are all judgments. Okay. Anyway, going back here, Exodus 9, and I'm going to start at verses. Let's start at verses 30, and it says, but as for thee and thy servants, I know that you will not fear the Lord Yahweh. And flax and barley was smitten, for the barley was in ear, and the flax was boiled. But the wheat and the rye were not smitten, for they were not grown up. And Moses went out of the city because the Lord destroyed the agriculture. Like this brought devastation and economic devastation into the land of Egypt. Okay. Just like you see the plagues in America, like that Hurricane Helene, that's going to cause billions of dollars in damage to recover and to fix it. And that's even if they decide to fix it, because you notice like after these storms, like in Maui, you don't hear nothing else about it. You don't know what's going on out there outside of the media coverage because nobody's covering it. This is why you have social media. But Moses went out of the city from Pharaoh and spread abroad his hands unto the Lord. And the thunders and hail ceased, and the rain was not poured upon the earth. So that's the point. Okay. The Lord has control over these plagues. And a lot of you people down there, you're getting ready to get totally jacked up, decimated. All right. So this is the book of 2 Ezra 15. And I'm going to start at verses Let's start at verses 10. It says, behold, my people is led as a flock to the slaughter. I will not suffer them now to dwell in the land of Egypt, but I will bring them with a mighty hand and a stretched out arm, and smite Egypt with plagues and will destroy the land thereof. Verse 12. It says, and Egypt shall mourn, and people are mourning now. These Edomites, they're hurt. Okay, they threw. And what we found out too is that those storms, it ended a lot of sundown towns, and we know the meaning of sundown towns. Jake getting lynched down there, Like you still have lynchings down south with Edomites hanging Jakes by the bootstrap. They noosing their ass, man. So this is a very wicked society, and this is why the Lord is bringing judgment. And honestly speaking, I don't feel bad for none of them motherfuckers down there. Good for them. I pray more destruction and calamities come upon you damn devils, man, because you got everything here dishonest any damn way. All right? You didn't work for a fucking thing you got. You stole everything that you had. All right? You've oppressed the Lord's chosen people, and you still oppressing us to this day. So I don't feel bad that female ain't helping you motherfuckers, man. The hell with you. Because if it was Jake, you wouldn't even piss a nigga. You wouldn't even piss on a nigga if he was on fire. So the hell with you goddamn devils. Good for you, every last one of you and your fucking kids. Now may the Most High continue to bring judgment. And more of these states gonna get jacked up. Missouri, Kansas, especially Missouri and Kansas. Some racist Edomites out here. And the Lord made us hit this place with a fucking 10.0 earthquake and collapse this goddamn state. And hey, Lord's will. Call all Yahweh Shai, man. All right? But anyway, it says here, but I will bring them with a mighty hand and a stretched out arm, and smite Egypt with plagues as before, and will destroy all the land thereof. And Egypt shall mourn, for the foundation of it should be smitten with the plague and punishment that the Most High should bring upon it. Then they that till the ground shall mourn, for that seed shall fail through with the blasting and hell, and with the fearful consolation, man. All right, so that's those storms and tempests, not to be played with. Okay. So yeah, man, things are getting ready to get real graphic, real grimy out here, brother. So stay prayed up, stay in the spirit, continue to keep the faith, believe, and let the Lord bring this thing on home, man. Shit's from 2025. Hey, don't be surprised if the MOTB, hey, it may be mandated next year, man. Depending on, what this devil decide to do. Hey, they may mandate it, Lord's will. But anyway, with that, all praises and glory and honor that's due to Yahweh Shai. Lord's will, you were edified. Into the next lesson. Shalom.
Was like, it's going to be unsurvivable. Did y'all see the news clip of the mayor of Tampa and what she said? She basically said that if you're in Tampa, then you will be unsurvivable. Like, I can't say the word, but she was like, it's going to be unsurvivable. She was like, everybody saying they stayed before and they dealt with a hurricane before. She was like, it's nothing like the hurricane that's coming. I see a lot of jokes, people on here laughing, writing their name on their arm. Y'all, it's really nothing to play about, like, for real. I'm so sad about this, especially the hospitals. They were the hospital, I seen the little demo. Have y'all seen the demo of what's going to happen? That it was I don't know, they been did this, and it's so crazy because the same way this is happening is the same way it happened on that little scenario that they released 2 years ago or a year ago. That is so crazy. It was a level 3 and it went to a level 5, and that's exactly what happened this time. But however, she stated that the hospital, everything unsurvivable. She said everything will be gone. She said if you're in Tampa, with this the mayor of Tampa, she was like, if you're in Tampa, then she said you're DIE. She said that on the news. She said that. And then another thing is, a lot of people cannot leave. Not only finances.
Yeah, it's a 3-mile radius. That's 3 city blocks. Goddamn. So that's what I'm saying is evacuate. You have evacuation zones that's under imminent threat. It's not the whole entire state. May not even be the entire city of Tampa. That just everybody evacuating the whole city of Chicago because a tornado hit. No, Chicago is a huge city. So if it hits on the west side of Chicago, you may feel the effects on the south side, but you don't necessarily have to evacuate. You see what I'm saying? So that's why I was, so.
A lot of people
get the information mixed up, and clearly she's misinterpreting some things, but we get the point. But anyway, Salakia, Shalom.
People just stuck on the highway. It's they have no choice. They have no choice. The people in the airport, they saying they got a flight for tomorrow. But today, they got a flight for today, but they saying it might be canceled. The plane might not be doing no This is like a lose-lose situation. Like, some people is not taking it serious. They saying it's still sunny outside, it ain't doing this and ain't doing it. Y'all, please, let's not play with these meteorologists, baby. They said what they said. It's gonna be a level 5. I'm praying for everybody. I'm praying for the people that's not able to get out, you guys. Like, I'm just praying. Did y'all see the news clip of the mayor of Tampa and what she said? She basically said that if you're in Tampa, then you...
This is literally catastrophic. And I can say without any dramatization whatsoever, if you choose to stay in one of those evacuation areas, you're going to die.
Wow. I mean, that is an incredibly blunt message. And I know you have a lot of experience dealing with these storms. You don't say something like that lightly, Mayor.
I've never said that. People need to get out.
And your message is just, this isn't survivable.
If we have that predicted storm surge, it is not survivable. This is literally